In 2016, Leicester City are the champions of England. A Premier League tale without compare.
Imagine a squad with a 5,000 to 1 chance of winning the Premier League. Actually, did it. Leicester City, a squad of underdogs turned football's biggest fairy tale into reality in 2016. Here is the million-dollar question. Did Riyad Mahrez find glory elsewhere, or fade away in the shadows of bigger club? And what about Claudio Ranieri, the charming mastermind behind it all? Did his magic last? But 9 years later, in 2025, where are those foxes now? Let's dive in. The astonishing campaign, forget the fancy club logos, the piles of money spent, or all those stats for a second. This story isn't about numbers. It's the story of a bunch of misfits and underdogs from the East Midlands. One year they were struggling to avoid relegation, and the next they were fighting for the league title against the biggest clubs in the country: Manchester City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Sounds impossible, right? Bookmakers gave them 5,000 to 1 odds, basically saying it was more likely for Elvis Presley to show up at a concert. Their secret? A rock-solid defense, lightning-fast counterattacks, and an unbreakable team spirit, and maybe a little bit of magic, transforming a squad of underdogs into legends. Claudio Ranieri. Let's start with the legend who made it all click. Claudio Ranieri, often referred to as King Claudio. He brought a belief system to Leicester that was almost felt biblical. Let's remember the famous pizza story before facing Crystal Palace. Ranieri made a bet with his players to motivate them. If they kept a clean sheet, he'd buy everyone pizza, and it worked perfectly. They won 1-0. Ranieri kept his promise and took the whole team to a pizzeria, where they even made the pizzas themselves. From then on, this bet became a tradition. Every time they kept a clean sheet, the coach bought the pizzas. Leicester had the greatest defensive record in the league at the end of the season, finishing with 81 points and just 36 goals allowed. Ranieri's magic didn't go unnoticed either. He bagged the Manager of the Month award 3 times and, of course, was named Manager of the Year. And where's he now, you ask? Believe it or not, has back at his beloved Roma for the 3rd time. Yep, the man came out of retirement just to help the club when they needed him most. Now that's loyalty, right? Kasper Schmeichel. No story of that season is complete without Kasper Schmeichel. The son of Manchester United legend Peter Schmeichel was the big Danish wall between the posts and Leicester's unshakable last line of defense. In 38 matches, he pulled off 15 clean sheets and stopped some of the best in the game. Kasper grew bigger when facing top strikers. He saved shots from lethal goal scorers like Olivier Giroud in a match against Arsenal, and from Harry Kane in a heart-stopping one-on-one. Without him, Leicester's fairy tale might have ended by Christmas. Today, at 39, he joined Celtic in 2024 after leaving Anderlecht and even extended his contract till 2026. And has not just there for show. He has accumulated more than 20 clean sheets in recent seasons and helped them win another premiership in April. Talk about consistency, right? Danny Simpson. Danny Simpson manned the right side next to Schmeichel, bringing toughness and stability to Leicester's defense. He loved to push forward, sprinting up the wing and sending in crosses that set up 5 league goals. He played for Bristol Rovers and Huddersfield Town before joining Macclesfield in 2023. In 2024, he retired and turned all of his attention to coaching. He even tried exhibition boxing, but it ended in a split tie. Christian Fuchs. Up next is Christian Fuchs, the Austrian left back who made Leicester's defense look effortless. He didn't just defend in his 32 games that season, he set up chances too. Those precise crosses helped Okazaki score some of his best headers, and his clever free kick routine left West Ham couldn't figure out. In 2023, he announced his retirement from professional football after a short stay with Charlotte FC in the MLS. Now, at 39, Fuchs remains deeply involved in football. He is currently the assistant coach of Major League Soccer club Charlotte FC and also the founder of the Foxes Sports Foundation. And N'Golo Kanté, the tiny French dynamo who dominated Leicester's midfield in 37 games. he stopped up attack after attack, assisted in launching counterattacks, covered almost 11 kilometers every game, and even contributed a goal. His impact was huge, including that historic 2-0 victory at Liverpool, when he made a dozen key tackles. Outside of the field, Kanté maintained a quiet profile. No flashy celebrations, no big ego, just hard work and silent resolve. He spent 7 years at Chelsea, and since 2023 has been making big money in Saudi Arabia with Al Ittihad. But the best part is, he gives almost all of his salary to charity. Wes Morgan next. We have Wes Morgan, the team captain and Jamaican-born centre-back. No one captured Leicester's fearless spirit quite like him. He played every single minute of the season. That's 3,420 minutes across 38 matches. His command in the air, winning 3 of every 4 headers. And his calm leadership stopped a defense from going into panic. Who could forget his pre-match hugs with Ranieri? A quirky little ritual that became iconic, giving the squad a boost of confidence. Ranieri once joked, "Wes is Baloo from the Jungle Book. Big, cuddly, but fierce." Perfect description, right? Robert Huth. Beside Morgan was Robert Huth, the German enforcer whose 30 starts formed a rock-solid partnership. Huth, a Chelsea supporter, made over 150 clearances, scored twice, and stopped strikers like Olivier Giroud with his strength. Key in Leicester's late-season surge, he was the silent guardian, letting flair players shine. Retired in 2018, the 41-year-old now co-owns a German bar chain and mentors young players in Leicester. Danny Drinkwater. He was the heartbeat of Leicester's midfield. That season, he started 34 games, scored a few goals here and there. But what really stood out? His passing. He kept the play flowing with an impressive 90% accuracy. Remember that 3-1 hammering of Manchester City? That was Drinkwater and Kanté at their peak, running the show. But then came the big move to Chelsea for £35 million in 2016. Things never really clicked there. After loans to Burnley, Aston Villa, Kasimpasa, and Reading, he finally retired in 2023 at 33. As of 2025, he no longer plays football and now works on a construction site. Quite a career change, huh? Riyad Mahrez next up. We've got Riyad Mahrez, the Algerian wizard on the right wing. 37 games, 17 goals and 11 assists, but it wasn't just the numbers. Mahrez brought those special moments, the tricks, the little plays that could turn a game on its head. Remember his hat tricks against Swansea? Or that screamer against Watford? Crazy stuff. He moved to Manchester City in 2018 for £60 million. Oh man. He kept winning there too. 4 Premier League titles, and even the Champions League in 2023. As of 2025, he is playing in Saudi Arabia for Al Ahly. Mark Albrighton. Albrighton was probably the brightest and most mature winger. And of course, he was one of the most underrated players in that title-winning team. They called him Mr. Reliable for a reason. He was the tireless engine on the right flank and never gave anything less than 100%. During that season, he played 35 games, scoring twice and setting up 5 more. After 10 loyal years and more than 360 games for the club, he became a free agent in 2024, now balancing coaching and trials in the MLS. Shinji Okazaki. Shinji may not have scored many goals that season, just 5, but his constant pressing and those selfless runs opened up endless chances for Vardy. Now, 39, has retired and managing FC Basara Mainz in Germany, the club he founded to help young Japanese players chase their dreams. Now, let's talk about the lesser-known players. Versatile Jeffrey Schlupp, now at Norwich City since July 2025 after a Celtic loan. Demarai Gray returned to his first team, Birmingham City, after 2 years playing for Al Ettifaq. Leonardo Ulo hung up his boots in 2021 after 2 seasons with Rayo Vallecano. And Gökhan Inler. He retired in 2024. His last club was Besiktas. Now has the sporting director at Udinese. Maybe you think we've forgotten someone, but we haven't. Leicester's miracle wouldn't have been possible without him. Jamie Vardy. That season, He broke records and gave goalkeepers nightmares with his 24 goals, including strikes against Chelsea, Manchester United, even braces against Liverpool and Arsenal. After 13 years at the club, he decided to end his chapter with the Foxes. And in his 500th game, he scored his 200th goal, the perfect ending for a legend like him. Now, nearing 40 years old, Hess joined Cremonese in Italy, still chasing that passion and proving the doubters wrong. The 2016 Leicester squad shows that fairy tales don't always end. Sometimes they get a sequel. So, what's next for these Foxes? Who's your favorite Fox? Let me know in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss what's coming next.